Customer funding models, the most underused growth lever in modern entrepreneurship. Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Palazzolo at Tip of the Spear. Founders love to talk about raising capital. They love it so much that they treat it like a rite of passage. Pitch decks, investor meetings, data rooms, negotiations, watered-down ownership, and the faint hope that someone in a finance bro Patagonia vest will validate their dream. The problem is that 90% of them start raising money far earlier than necessary, but somehow never early enough. They overlook the most accessible, least dilutive capital source they'll ever have: their customers. You see, customer funding models are one of the three venture funding legs of the stool, as I call it. And they're not cute hacks or scrappy bootstrap techniques. Customer funding models are disciplined, commercially rigorous ways to finance growth without running to outside capital every time the business needs oxygen. John Mullins, whose work I first encountered studying under him during my time at the University of Michigan, put this into sharp focus in his book, The Customer-Funded Business. His research didn't just spotlight an alternative funding tactic, it reframed the very idea of early-stage capital formation. And he was right. Customer-funded growth isn't a fallback. It's a fundamentally different approach to building companies. And the companies that master this playbook on customer funding models don't just grow faster, they grow on their own terms. So why customer funding works when everything else gets expensive? Every funding strategy carries trade-offs. Venture capital dilutes, debt constrains, grants distract, and family offices ask for board seats you're not ready to give. Customer funding models flip the power dynamic. Instead of asking, how do we convince an investor this works? The question becomes, will customers pay now for the value we promise? That one shift does two things. One, it proves demand, and two, creates capital, both at the same time. More importantly, customer-funded companies, they behave differently. They prioritize value delivery over pitch theatrics. They build only what people will pay for. They develop commercial muscle early instead of hoping someone will bankroll their learning curve. And when they eventually do raise institutional capital, they do it from a position of strength. Higher valuation, less dilution, and a tested revenue engine. This is the hidden upside most founders never get to experience. The 5 customer funding models that actually work. Plenty of people throw around terms like pre-sales or subscriptions like they're generic widgets. They're not. Each model creates cash in a different way, and each one forces specific operational behaviors. Model number 1, pre-sales proof. Pre-sales is proof of demand before you build. Pre-selling is the purest form of customer funding. You bring a concept to the market, you articulate the outcome, and collect commitments before you produce anything. It applies in SaaS, annual upfront contracts, hardware, pay to reserve, education, cohorts, consumer goods, even consulting. The point isn't the money. The point is that someone is willing to pay now for a promise. If you can't secure pre-sales, you've learned something far more valuable than any investor pitch feedback. Model number 2 is subscription and membership models. Predictability as capital. Recurring revenue is not just revenue. It's a working capital engine. Monthly or annual subscriptions steady the cash cycle, and they convert customer loyalty directly into growth fuel. Annual repayments deserve special attention because they create lump sum cash infusions that often outperform bank loans or venture debt. A year of capital upfront from 500 customers beats a term sheet with creative math any day. Model number 3, freemium-to-paid. Let customers fund your roadmap. Freemium is not generosity, it's controlled exposure. If structured well, the free tier creates volume, while paid upgrades fund development. The data from free users tells you what to build. The revenue from upgraded users pays for building it. But this model only works with discipline. Free cannot mean everything for everyone. It must mean just enough to prove value, not enough to avoid paying. Model 4, advance payments. This is the most underrated B2B lever. Advance payments are a relic of older industries, but they're still one of the most effective cash flow tools available. Manufacturers do it, agencies do it, enterprise SaaS companies do it when they're smart. It's simple. Customers secure priority access, better pricing, or guaranteed capacity by paying upfront. You get the capital before incurring cost. Everyone wins, as long as you deliver. Model 5, crowdfunding. Capital awareness and proof in one stroke. Crowdfunding isn't a last resort. It's a market stress test. If you can generate thousands of paying customers before your product exists, you validated demand, built a community, and created working capital in a single motion. The right campaign generates capital, content, and credibility simultaneously. Investors notice. Choosing the right model and when to stack them. Founders get into trouble when they treat these models as standalone choices rather than a portfolio they can sequence. High-performing operators combine them. Pre-sales validate demand, subscriptions stabilize cash flow, advance payments inject capital at key expansion moments, crowdfunding accelerates awareness, and freemium guides product design. Choosing the right mix starts with 4 questions. Number 1, who is the customer and what is their buying psychology? Number 2, how quickly can we deliver the promised value? Number 3, will upfront payments meaningfully shift your cash cycle? And question number 4, does this model deepen or erode long-term customer loyalty? When your answers line up, customer funding becomes more than a financing strategy. It becomes a competitive edge. The future. Customer-funded companies win in tight markets. In today's capital environment, raising money early is expensive. Investors want proof, not potential. They want revenue, not roadmaps. And above all, they want cost discipline, not growth at all cost nostalgia. Customer-funded companies check all those boxes by default. They build what people want, generate capital as they go, and keep control for much longer. And when they eventually step into the institutional market, they do it with leverage, real metrics, real traction, and real optionality. The founders who master these models don't ask for permission to build. They ask customers to join them. And customers say yes because they see value, not vapor. That's the game. And Mullins and I saw it long before most did. I'm Sam Palazzolo, Managing Director at Tip of the Spear. I hope you've enjoyed this conversation about venture funding and specifically customer funding.